Hey everybody, Mr. Odie here, trying some new stuff. We're going to try to do this and see how it goes. I'm going to try to go quickly so that this video is not super long and takes up a whole lot of space. To get it out of the way, they say the camera adds 15 pounds, and right now there are 7 cameras on me. So I've slimmed down quite a bit since we saw each other last time. Yes. Today we're going to talk about some right triangles. We're going to talk about triangles in general. That's what we're going to start doing in Unit 7, if you looked ahead at your Pearson stuff. We're going to try this and see how it goes. Hopefully the notes will help. Basically what I'm going to do is go through a couple different things with you, and then I'm just going to ask for a response for homework tonight. And then hopefully this works well, and then we'll have another video tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'm just going to give you the Math Excel and a couple examples from Pearson over the stuff that I've taught you so far. So I know this is the new norm, and that's weird for a lot of us, but we'll see. We'll get through it together. So as you can see up here with our learning target, you like this whiteboard? I got it for my birthday from my mommy. Yep, it was very nice. And it's now in my dining room so that me and my wife can teach from home. So we're going to talk about right triangles, but in general, just talking about triangles. I know that you guys should know some things about triangles. We both know how that goes typically. Just a quick recap. There are 2 main ways that people classify triangles. One is by angle size, and one is by side lengths. All right. Angle size, there's acute triangles. And acute triangles mean all of their angles are less than 90 degrees. So we already talked about how all triangles have to have 180 degrees. If one was, for example, 60, 70, 50 degrees, that would be an acute triangle because it adds up to 180, so it's a triangle, and they're all less than 90. There's also obtuse triangles, which I can hear you yelling at home, means greater than 90, but only one angle is greater than 90. Otherwise, you couldn't add up to 180. And then, of course, there's right triangles, which we're going to talk about today, mostly. Right triangles are the ones that have exactly one angle that's 90 degrees. And those are the special ones. When you hear like trigonometry, it's basically right triangle math. So there's a lot of special things. We are going to start talking about some of those here in Unit 7. And then just to kind of finish up your review of things you should know, side length ones, we have isosceles. Isosceles. It's just like real class. I'm pretty sure I spelled that right. Which means 2 sides are congruent. We have equilaterals. Equilateral. Which means all the sides are congruent. And we have scalenes, where all the sides are different. So I know that you guys should know those things. We are particularly going to talk only about right triangles today. But some of the things, like we talked about, triangles that are 180 degrees, that's true for all of these triangles. All right? So what do we need to know about right triangles to start what we are going to start talking about, which is Pythagorean theorem? Well, there's a couple different special things about right triangles. I give you nice size so you can see it on the video here. Hopefully you can see it on the video. We know that when we see these boxes, that means that this is 90 degrees. So this is our one right angle, right? It has to be shown with the little box, or I could measure it and see that it's 90 degrees. We're not going to assume that anything's 90 degrees unless they tell me. There is a way that we can prove to see if it's 90 degrees, but we'll talk about on Thursday if everything goes as well as planned. All right, so we have this right angle. These two sides right here and right here, these two sides are what make this right angle. Those sides have a special name. All right, these two sides are called the legs. The legs of a right triangle. The legs are where the right angle is created. They come together at 90 degrees. Those are called legs, and you need to know that. This other side that is across, so here's the right angle. We draw a line directly across from it. It's always going to point to this other side. And you're probably sitting there thinking like, ooh, I bet it's the arm. You're close. It's the hypotenuse, obviously. The hypotenuse. Ooh. The hypotenuse is the one that's across from the right angle. If I know that's a weird word, if you want to know a good way to remember it, remember when you were a tiny child and your mom was cooking up some mac and cheese in the kitchen? First thing she did was put some water on to boil, and you looked up because you were, this really tiny, and there was a high pot in use on your stove. A high pot in use. Hypotenuse. You're welcome. Yeah, that's good stuff. So, the hypotenuse over here is the one that's across from the right angle. And there's some special stuff about it. It's always the longest side. Longest side of a right triangle. Okay, so these two sides could be congruent to each other. That'd be an isosceles right triangle. That's fine. They could be smaller, right? One could be 3 inches, one could be 4 inches. Sure, that's possible. But this side that's across from the right angle is always going to be the longest side. And basically the reason for that, and this works with all triangles, our sides are directly related to the angles across from them. So if I told you this was the longest side, that's because it's across from the biggest angle, right? And then if this is the next biggest angle, then this would be the next longest side, and so forth. So the one that's across from it, you can kind of just find an angle, draw an arrow. It will point to the side that's across from it, right? Those two are linked together in all triangles. But we are going to specifically talk about right triangles, which means we're looking at the right angle and the hypotenuse. So this is always going to be the longest side of this triangle. And the legs will be the two shorter sides. Awesome. Very good, very good. Yeah, so with these right triangles, we're going to do some things. Tomorrow we're going to look at the Pythagorean theorem and see how that works. Hopefully, you guys will get it through video message, and it will work just fine. But what I want you to tell me today, I think, just make a Google Doc, submit it through Google Classroom, and tell me 3 things that you learned about right triangles. Any 3 things you learned about right triangles today. Could be something you already knew, could be something new, but 3 items that you now know about right triangles. All right? We'll see you guys later.